exclusive insight into the world of Badger athletics, this is Wisconsin Huddle. Here's Andrew Banstra.
Welcome into Cousin Subs right here next to UW-Madison's campus. I'm Andrew Banstra with WISC-TV, and this is the Wisconsin Huddle. Thrilled to be joined by Wisconsin men's basketball's Austin Rapp. Austin, thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Looking forward to this one. And as always, we're going to get to know Austin and the person that he is off the court. And the best way we know how to do that is starting with a game that we like to call two swishes and an air ball. So I'm going to say three things about Austin. One of them's a lie, two of them are true, but the catch is that Austin's going to pretend like all three are true, and we're going to see if you in the live audience and you at home can snuff out which one was fake. So we'll start with this. You grew up playing a little basketball, but also volleyball too. Is that right?
Yep, that is true.
And a lot of volleyball going on this campus as well.
Yeah, I've been to a few games, and obviously they just got 2 wins in the tournament, so it'd be good to see how far they get.
My second one would be that you grew up in Onalaska, Wisconsin, but you have deep Australian roots, right?
Yeah. I used to go out there a fair bit to see the family in Australia, but yeah, I'm originally from Wisconsin.
And my third would be that during COVID, you described yourself as a 6'2" chubby basketball player, and you came out of COVID at 6'8", and you've grown a little bit since, right?
Yeah, correct. I went into COVID, and then I started having knee problems and sleeping all throughout COVID because we were in lockdown in Australia, in Wisconsin. But, but then we moved to Australia for a little bit in the lockdown to see family over there. But then my knees were pretty bad, and all of a sudden came out, and I was 6'8".
That's a pretty good thing for a basketball player.
Yeah, exactly
or even
right.
a volleyball player,
Yeah,
right?
both.
Fair enough.
Both.
Well, we have put it on the table for you in the live audience and you at home. Can anybody snuff out the lie in there? 2? We think 2, that he did not grow 6 inches, or that he's not from Wisconsin. You're right, right?
I kind of gave it away a little bit when I said in Australia, but no, they're right. You're right. I'm not from Wisconsin. I'm from Australia. I think my accent gives it away a little bit too.
Maybe a little bit. That's
maybe
okay. So let's start there. You're from Australia.
Yeah.
What's the hoop scene like over there? Is it as big as it is in America?
I think now it's getting there. Growing up, there was we have a lot. I grew up in a basketball stadium. I've got 3 other siblings, and they all played basketball. And my dad played college in UC San Diego and moved to Australia to play pro. So I've lived at the gyms in Australia. The scene over there is developing, and it's developing as we speak right now.
We see more and more guys from Australia coming into the NBA, and later in the show on Famous Faces, we'll try to see a couple of those. Let's talk about volleyball, though. Mm-hmm. We mentioned Wisconsin, known for their volleyball. Yep. How cool is that? And tell me about your volleyball playing career.
A few of my mates played, and I kind of never really wanted to jump in. I was like, basketball. Like, I just want to play basketball. And, started to grow a little bit, and I'm like, can you come on, let's just give it a try. I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'll come do it. And soon enough, it was kind of, at the start, I was kind of just like, doing it with my mates. But then I started to kind of the competitive side came out of me, and started to play we had tournaments once every month, and I started to become pretty good at it, and actually got invited to the Australian, the main place for volleyball. Didn't end up taking it because I ultimately chose basketball. Growing
6 inches, like we said, good for either of those things.
Correct.
What was that experience like, and how did that change your game?
I was a shooting guard growing up. Played a little bit of point guard too, and kind of the kid, as I said before, the chubby kid running around just shooting threes. Then I grew to 6'8". I'm like, I might have to change positions. I might have to, play a little big man. So that's kind of why my style is how it is. I play like a little bit of a guard and keep trying to develop those big skills, but it helped a lot.
We'll dive into that and much more when we come back to the Wisconsin Huddle.
You're watching Wisconsin Huddle.
Welcome back inside Cousin Subs. This is the Wisconsin Huddle. I'm Andrew Banstra here with Wisconsin men's basketball's Austin Rapp. And of course, this is the Student Athletes segment presented by Gruber Law Offices. So let's get to know who Austin is as a person. You know him as the hooper that does all the amazing things on the court. And speaking of, you're the first Australian Wisconsin men's basketball player. Let's start there. How cool is that?
Yeah, I actually didn't know that until probably a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Someone in the media mentioned it to me, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool to kind of say that I was the first to ever be a Badger as an Australian. I think it's pretty cool, and it's something I'll cherish and tell my grandkids one day.
When you were 18, you started at the professional ranks, right? In the NBL in Australia.
Yes, my local team, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. I grew up supporting them when they came into the league, and I used to go down and watch practices and go to all the games, and I was a big supporter, big fan of the team. Then all of a sudden I got a chance at 17 to be a development player, and I actually signed the contract on my birthday.
Wow.
And then I was one of the youngest dudes in the league at the time, and coming to practice every day. I actually had to finish school before I could get started, so I was kind of juggling, like I would miss a day here for school, and then so I didn't get to train as much at the start, and then school finished and got to ramp up, and it's a life experience that I'll cherish forever.
That is amazing. And Aussie, as he is called, you know, we didn't mention the fact you're from Melbourne. How cold is it there compared to what we're seeing outside right now?
I just walked over from the call center, which is not very long, but
Yeah.
I was very cold, freezing. I've stocked up, I've gotten beanies, I've gotten warm socks, and it's nowhere near as cold over here than it is Australia. Australia in the winter, you could even get away with shorts and a hoodie here and there. In Wisconsin, you can barely get away with wearing slippers with no socks. So I actually learned that the hard way the other day. I was wearing slippers with no socks. And
your college career, it didn't start at Wisconsin. It started at Portland, where you were absolutely fantastic. The WCC Freshman of the Year. You led all players in the NCAA that were 6'9" and above in three-pointers made per game. What was that freshman year experience like for you?
it was honestly the best thing that could have happened to me. You know, I grew up, and my family friend went to Portland for 4 years before that, Tyler Robinson.
Yeah.
Really close with him, and he kind of, I got to know the coach a little bit, and they were actually my first college offer when I was 16 years old. I actually verbally committed to them when I was 16 and a half, and then started to kind of get a little good and went away with the Australian team and played college basketball. I went to the World Cup, did that, and came back and played a little bit of pro, and then I started to get a bit more interest, St. Mary's and West Virginia, some bigger schools. But I stayed loyal, and I went to Portland, which worked out, and I'm so grateful for that experience last year.
And we mentioned how incredible he was as a freshman. That landed him offers from the likes of Clemson, Iowa, Michigan, Oregon, and of course Wisconsin. So why Wisconsin? What was it that drew you to wanting to be a Badger?
Yeah, I think the big thing for me is like the style of play. The way we play basketball is suited to the way I play. And then ultimately it came down to a family environment. I came on my visit here, and the coaches were all players here. Like that says something about the program and kind of the culture that it's brought. And when I came on a visit here, I ultimately just fell in love with it, and it wasn't as cold when I came on my visit. But no, I love it here, and I'm so grateful I made that decision.
You come from a basketball bloodline. Your dad played basketball at UC San Diego, and he wasn't just on the team. He was just inducted into their Hall of Fame. Your aunt played at Duke. Your brother played at Washington State and Hawaii. Your sister at St. Mary's. I may be even leaving somebody out here, but you know, how cool was that growing up? Did you guys play in the backyard, in the driveway?
So we used to play 2-on-2 boys versus girls all the time. And me being the young one, and I was a little feisty and got competitive. And listen, like those backyard games, the funnest times of my life, it would always end in tears.
Sure.
One of us would be crying, and then mum or dad would have to get involved. But I know they love seeing us be competitive out in the backyard, and I miss those times. And yeah, it was really cool growing up with 3 other siblings that played basketball too.
When we come back to the Wisconsin Huddle, everything Wisconsin men's basketball related next. Welcome back inside Cousin Subs. I'm Andrew Banstra here with Aussie Rapp from Wisconsin men's basketball, and we're going to start with our Menards play of the month. Check this out. You're seeing it as we speak. Josh Manchester from Mount Horeb High School. He scores right here his 2,000th career point. He's just the 69th player in Wisconsin boys basketball history to crack that mark. An incredible job by Josh. And speaking of hoops, let's talk about what Wisconsin's been doing this year. You started the season ranked, a few tough losses. What do you learn from those early games?
Yeah, 100%. I think, we played our 5 non-conference games and played pretty well and won pretty easily, and then we had a really good challenge against BYU. And I think it's really, really important to get those games out of the way early in terms of even if you win or lose them, because you learn so much from it. And we learned a lot from losing to BYU. Obviously, it wasn't the best outcome that we wished for, but I think honestly, ultimately, it does us favors in terms of where we went wrong and where we can improve. And ultimately, we continue to improve and took a few tough losses, but then we're on the winning track again right now, so it's good.
You get a Big Ten opening win over Northwestern handily. The final score really doesn't even do it justice. And then against Marquette, you showed that you're the real deal. 96 points against Marquette is the most the Badgers have ever scored. I mean, how fun was that game? Packed to the gills. I mean, that was an incredible environment.
I think we came ready to go from the start. We really wanted that win and to protect our home court against our cross rivals, and the crowd really helped with that and getting us up and about and making life hell for Marquette and booing them and being there for warm-ups. It was a different experience I've never had before. But to kind of be in that and get my first cross-town rival and get the win is crazy and obviously something I'll remember forever.
Did guys like John Blackwell or even Andrew Rohde, who's from right outside of Milwaukee, did they talk anything about that? Like, this is why this is so important?
We had conversations about it in the locker room, like, this is big time. Like, they're going to come out, even though they haven't had the best year so far, they're going to come out and be ready to throw punches and be ready to throw their best shot at us. And we were prepared and ready for it, and ultimately we came out with the victory.
You guys seem like a really close-knit team. Would that be a fair assessment? And how fun is that kind of hanging out with your guys off the court?
No, 100%. We all get along really well. We travel as a team together, and we're on the planes all playing games. And, after wins, even after losses, we're in the team room and we're playing games like Mafia and Imposter. Like, we're playing games we're a really close team. It's one of the closest teams I've definitely been on. And I think that's starting to show on the court and show our team chemistry and show how much we trust in each other on the court.
How good can this group be?
I mean, obviously, I think we can win a Big Ten championship at the end of the day, and even a national championship just with the talent that we have. And if we put it together and put it all together at the right times, I think we can really contend this year. And I'm looking forward to kind of getting to these big games coming up. And we've got one Wednesday against Nebraska, which would be cool.
We've talked a lot about basketball, but when we come back, we're going to talk about cheese next on the Wisconsin Huddle. welcome back inside Cousin Subs. I'm Andrew Banstra here with Aussie Rapp from Wisconsin men's basketball, and we're going to try some cheese curds.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You know, Cousin Subs, you think a sandwich shop.
Yeah.
You don't really think cheese curds and fries, but here we are.
Let's try it out.
Let's get these going. Have you had cheese curds before?
A while ago. I haven't had it in a while, so
Okay.
I'll give my honest feedback.
Fair enough.
About
Let's
it,
do it.
That's good.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Very good stuff.
Do they have cheese curds in Australia?
I've never had a cheese curd before.
Okay.
Like in Australia, like other than being in Wisconsin, I've never had a cheese curd. So
That's fair.
whoever made these crispy too, I like that. So that was honestly one of the better cheese curds I've had. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
for
that's good stuff right here at Cousin Subs. We got the fries, we got the sandwich, and that begs the question, what is your favorite kind of thing you found in Wisconsin? Kind of like a cheese curd that you didn't know about before.
The terrace was something I've never seen before. We don't really have like a big river or lake back in Australia, so like to see that and kind of see the environment, especially in the summer, that was something really cool and something I hadn't really seen before.
And now it's time for a version of Badger Blind Rank we're going to call the Down Under Edition. I'm going to give you 5 things, you don't know what's coming next, and you got to rank them 1 through 5.
Let's do it.
You got to kind of help me understand what some of them are, though.
We'll do.
We'll start with Tim Tams. What is it, and where do you rank it?
Tim Tams is a personal favorite for me.
Okay.
It's like a little chocolate kind of like bar.
Okay.
It's honestly amazing. There's different flavors, caramel, white chocolate. Chocolate Tim Tams is definitely my favorite. I'm going to say 2.
2?
It was a close one, though.
Okay, yeah.
It was close to being 1, but I'm gonna let the tension build up a little bit and see what else we've got.
The Outback. This is, if I understand right, you know, kind of just the desert.
The desert?
Yeah.
It's, you know, part of the Australian kind of culture a little bit. The Outback and the Aboriginals is very important to us in Australia. I'm going to go 3.
Do you think that your teammates, let's say Nolan Winter, a guy from Minnesota, could he survive that?
No chance.
No?
I don't think I could survive it. So,
Okay.
yes, but no. I do
No
not
shot?
think so. No way.
What about the Great Barrier Reef?
I would say, like, if someone in this room or anyone wanted to go to Australia, like, that's probably one of the things you've got to do.
Sure.
Just the Great Barrier Reef and kind of see that. Obviously, it's the best, probably the best in the world. I went when I was, I think, 14.
Okay.
Loved it. It was beautiful. Got to see animals I've never seen before in my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1.
1?
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to top.
Yeah,
it's hard to top.
I'm going to go 1.
So you got 4 and 5 left, and my next one would be Vegemite on toast. What is it, and where do you rank it?
It's a spread.
Okay.
So it's obviously like Nutella and peanut butter, like all that.
Yeah.
A lot of us, when I've seen Americans taste it, they have this like sour face to them after they've just eaten something crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
I do it when I have it a lot when I'm home. I've actually just got a jar in my locker room, and definitely one of my personal faves too. But obviously, there's only 4 and 5 left, so I'm going to say 4.
4? Okay. My last one would be Australian. Do I have AFL footy?
Oh.
Is that right? That's basically rugby, as we call it.
That's my one. But
That's your one?
Yeah,
And you
that's-
played
that's
that
my
too,
one. I
right?
played that growing up, and I go for the Geelong Cats, which is obviously one of the better teams in the AFL, and they played in the grand final this year, and I stayed awake till 3 a.m. to watch it.
That's awesome.
It's every time I'm home, even when I'm not home, I'm checking the scores all the time, and always going to games while I am home. So I think it's personally better than American football.
Okay.
My teammates, when I say that, laugh at me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that would be my 1, but it has to go 5.
Are you a Packers fan at all?
No, I'm actually not.
Okay.
Obviously, my dad's American.
Right.
So I'm a 49ers.
Okay, yeah.
49. I'm not a big American football guy, but when it's on, and I'll watch it and
Fair enough.
kind of cheer for the team. Like when we played in the Super Bowl, the 49ers played in
Sure.
the Super Bowl a few years ago, I'll turn that on for sure.
Next up, we've got one last thing that we've got to do with Aussie. It's a whole lot of fun.
You're watching Wisconsin Huddle. Welcome back to Wisconsin Huddle.
Welcome back into Cousin Subs. This is the Wisconsin Huddle. I'm Andrew Banstra here with Aussie Rapp from Wisconsin men's basketball. And we've still got one more fun thing to do before we call it a wrap. Famous Faces. It's a fan favorite game here on the Wisconsin Huddle. I'm going to show you 5 faces mushed into one. And you've got to try to tell me who each of those 5 are.
Okay.
So my only hint would be 3 of them are Australian and played in the NBA.
Yep.
2 of them also played in the NBA, but are were former Wisconsin Badgers.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Try and go 5 for 5. Let's see how we go.
So we can start from the top. We can start anywhere you want, but we've got 5 famous faces.
Okay, so the middle one's Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving,
sure.
and he was born in Australia.
Born in Australia. I played for the USA, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I'm hoping he can come back and play for Australia one more time.
Would you deem him Australian?
Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
People when I say that to like my teammates and stuff, they're kind of like, no, that's.
I think it's fair though. I mean, I kind of associate him with Australia.
I think so too. That's Fred Kaminsky, right?
Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah,
so 2 for 2.
Okay, the hair at the top.
Throwing you off.
Is that Ben Simmons?
It is Ben Simmons.
There we go.
It is Ben Simmons.
That was my shaker one. And then
Ben Simmons, Frank Kaminsky, Kyrie Irving.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know this one, but I'm gonna give it a guess because Sam Decker.
Sam Decker.
Oh wow.
You got it.
There you go.
That's pretty
there we
good.
go.
The beard kind of.
It's either Aaron Baines or Andrew Bogut.
You said one of them. He was the number 1 overall
This
pick.
gives me Andrew Bogut.
Andrew Bogut.
Yeah.
5 for 5.
5 for 5.
5 for 5. Would you consider those 3 of the best Australians, or would Patty
100%.
Mills have to
Patty
be?
Mills, Josh Giddey's on the rise,
Sure.
Bryson Daniels on the rise, but in terms of established and played in the NBA, yeah, for sure.
As always, before we break from the Wisconsin Huddle, it is a huddle after all, so we have to break the huddle.
Let's do it.
Do you have a favorite way that you've done that on any team you've played?
I'm gonna go Cousin Subs on 3.
I love it. I love it. All right, fair enough.
3, 2, 1.
Cousin Subs. Thank you so much, Aussie.
Thank you
We
very
will
much.
see you next week.